What is up, friends, and welcome to Watch Bojo.
That's a no-go, bro.
Now that the series is officially over, I'm going to break down my personal top 10 best episodes of BoJack Horseman. Spoilers for every season of BoJack ahead, and also remember that these are just my personal best. There are also just so many incredible episodes of BoJack, so it's really tough to pick favorites, though I do want to acknowledge that there is a sort of subset of episodes that are considered the best in the series, many being the penultimate episodes of the season, or the more experimental episodes. So because this list might not be too surprising overall, I'm going to make another top 10 list soon on BoJack's top 10 underrated episodes. Let's get to it. Number 10, Downer Ending. The very first season's penultimate episode is a real doozy and completely took me by surprise back in 2014. This episode went a really long way to both subvert our expectations and showcase a ton of really trippy and experimental animation styles, all while exploring BoJack's insecurities. While episodes like Say Anything and The Telescope started to shift BoJack's first season from silly animated comedy to a more dramatic tone, Downer Ending really helped set the stage for the evolution of the series. It sort of showcased everything that the show would excel at moving forward. It was experimental in its narrative structure and animation style, it was introspective and unafraid to explore BoJack's insecurities, and it ended in an unsettling but thought-provoking place. Writer Kate Purdy's mind-bending storytelling would continue through her time on BoJack and even on her own series Undone, but it also really helped establish some of the exciting types of stories that BoJack could tell. For all of these reasons, it definitely makes my top 10 list. Number 9, Stupid Piece of Shit. Alison Taffel joined the BoJack writing staff for season 4 and immediately knocked it out of the park with Stupid Piece of Shit. This is an episode that I have repeatedly seen people cite as frighteningly relatable, showcasing BoJack's fears and insecurities through his inner monologue. The accompanying animation style really adds flair to the episode that makes it stand out, but I think what really makes the episode special is the fact that we get such an in-depth look at BoJack's decision-making, and the fact that though he is acutely aware of the shitty things he does and feels bad for doing them, he still makes those decisions. It shows how his own toxicity permeates not just his thoughts, but overrides his better judgment, and therefore perpetuates itself. And I think the added relatability to those of us with similar insecurities make this one an all-timer. Number 8, The Showstopper. Season 5's penultimate episode is a truly wild ride and a brilliant culmination of Season 5's overarching story. BoJack's inability to distinguish his TV life from his real life is so effectively showcased and keeps the viewer guessing at every turn. It's really fun and exciting to watch, of course, until it isn't. This is also the episode that gives us the most Filbert content of the entire series, and I find the parody of the overly pretentious premium cable drama to be superbly entertaining. Add the full-on musical sequence of Don't Stop Dancin', which takes BoJack on a journey through his life, career, accomplishments, massive mistakes, and insecurities, and you got yourself my 8th favorite episode of BoJack Horseman. Number 7, Fish Out of Water. This one is almost self-explanatory, just an incredible experiment of an episode, not only expanding the BoJack Horseman world in fun ways, but telling an incredibly heartwarming and exciting story with almost no spoken words. The exploration of the Pacific Ocean city was so rewarding as a fan of world building, and I almost wish we had seen more from underwater cities throughout the remainder of the series. They were able to so effectively tell the story of BoJack and this baby seahorse, all while using his journey as a vehicle to help him confront his past mistakes and regrets. It's a wonderful episode and it should have won an Emmy. Number 6, That's Too Much Man. This episode is absolutely heart-wrenching and I'm sure a lot of fans don't watch it that often, but it's hard to argue that it isn't an impeccable piece of storytelling. BoJack's ongoing blackouts throughout his bender with Sarah Lynn and the subsequent time jumps create an unparalleled sense of tension. I just felt so uneasy the entire episode. The saddest thing about the episode is the fact that this is probably the most we got to know the real Sarah Lynn throughout the entire series. She really opens up to BoJack about her life, her regrets, her frustrations with the life that was forced upon her, and the things she wishes she had gotten to do. And of course, the heartbreaking ending of the episode was a massive turning point for BoJack, and the effects of Sarah Lynn's death rippled throughout the remainder of his life in ways big and small. Easily one of the series' best. Number 5, Free Churro. This is another experimental story that almost needs no introduction. The entire episode is a brilliantly written 25-minute monologue crafted by series creator Raphael Bob Waxberg, all framed around BoJack's eulogy for his mother. My favorite thing about this episode is how dense with detail and information it is. We learn so much about BoJack, his parents, their relationship to him and to each other, his childhood, and it's also thoroughly engaging despite taking place in one single location. And while the monologue is dense, it's never boring. This episode was nominated for an Emmy in 2019, and it damn well should have won. I will be bitter about that forever. Whereas Fish Out of Water showed that the BoJack team could tell an incredible story entirely through visuals, this episode showed that they can also tell an incredibly story with nothing but words, and the Academy should feel ashamed. 5th best episode. Number 4, Escape from LA. This is an episode that has slowly moved up my favorite episode list the more I've watched it. While it's always been harrowing, there were some decisions made in this episode that I didn't fully understand or appreciate until many rewatches later, and my next individual episode breakdown will definitely be about Escape from LA, so look forward to that. What I love most about this episode is that it places BoJack in an idealistic sitcom-like scenario. It presents him with a potential happily ever after that the show has repeatedly demonstrated doesn't exist. Slowly, the combination of reality and BoJack's own toxicity take over his little dream world and brings the audience to their first major crossroads in the series, forcing us to question if BoJack is a character we can actually like and root for moving forward. Like Sarah Lynn's death, the events in New Mexico permeated the rest of BoJack's life throughout the series and deeply affected his own psyche as well as his relationships. For these reasons, this is my fourth favorite episode of the series. Number 3, Time's Arrow. Kate Purdy is the absolute master of time and mind-bending narrative, and if you haven't seen her series Undone on Amazon, you are seriously missing out. Go watch it. Seriously, go right now. It's amazing. The 11th episode of Season 4, Time's Arrow, works on every level. It's a deep dive exploration of Beatrice as a character, all told during a journey through her dementia-riddled mind. This episode simultaneously explores the person Beatrice was growing up and who she's become in her old age. It also sports the most effective twist that the series has ever given us, revealing that Hollyhock is not BoJack's daughter, but his half-sister. I seriously did not see that twist coming. It was really well done. It's also telling that one of the series' best ever episodes can feature so little of BoJack himself. Every time I rewatch this episode, I am endlessly impressed. The writing, the animation, the structure, the little visual details that go alongside Beatrice's dementia. It's just an incredible piece of storytelling and my third favorite episode of BoJack Horseman. Number 2, The View from Halfway Down. I'm sure many of you have watched my deep dive analysis of The View from Halfway Down already, so you know I had a lot to say about that one. This is another script from Allison Taffel, and I cannot even begin to express how impressed I am with the episode. It's an incredible culmination of the series as a whole, roping in so many characters, storylines, and details, and wrapping it up in one of the most profound pieces of storytelling I've ever seen in my life. When I was writing my breakdown of the episode, I actually watched it 5 times in a row, and I seriously didn't get bored even one time. Even with my meticulous dissection of the episode, I'm still finding new details that I missed. If you want to hear more from me on The View from Halfway Down, I'll link to my breakdown at the end of this video. It's an absolute masterpiece of an episode and easily my second favorite of the series. Now, before I get to my number 1 favorite episode of BoJack Horseman, I know I'm for sure going to get comments angry that I haven't listed your favorite episode, but I want to hear them. Comment below with your personal top 10 episode list of BoJack Horseman. I want to hear what you love. The show is so amazing, so I'm sure we're going to get some really unique lists in the comments. And also don't forget I'll be doing a top 10 underrated episode list soon. And on to our final entry. Number 1 is The Old Sugarman Place. I know this is an episode that's on many top 10 lists, but I'm guessing that I'm one of the few who puts it at the number 1 spot. A lot of this has to do with how effective the episode was the very first time I saw it, but I absolutely love how the story explores grief in so many different ways. The simultaneous storytelling of Beatrice's childhood and BoJack's 8 months in Harper's Landing is a really bold choice, especially for the second episode of a season, but I've come to expect nothing short of excellence from Kate Purdy. The time-bending aspects of the episode work seamlessly, but I also love how we see the effects of grief in Honey Sugarman, BoJack himself, and his neighbor Eddie. Eddie and Honey's duet across time is 100% my favorite scene in all of BoJack Horseman, and I Will Always Think of You is a song that I seriously sing to myself daily. Throw in the shocking and heartbreaking twist for Honey Sugarman, which acted as an incredibly effective story point and a huge piece of contextual character development for Beatrice, and you've got yourself one special episode of BoJack Horseman. I think this will probably be the episode that I cover individually after Escape from LA, so if you want to see that, comment below. And there you have it, folks, my personal top 10 favorite episodes of BoJack Horseman. Like I said before, I want to hear your top 10 favorite episodes, so comment them down below. Which episodes did I miss that are on your list, and how mad are you at me for not putting them on the list? And stay tuned, because next up I'll have a list of the top 10 underrated episodes of BoJack Horseman. If you like this video, do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more cartoon analysis. Peace!
Johnny to Cellos!